Hey, it's time to tighten up with TP.
So my client's not here yet. She's been doing an awesome job. So instead of having her to go out and purchase the book, when she gets here, she's going to be shocked. And the reason she's going to be shocked is because I'm going to hand her this book. This right here is going to take her to the next level. This is a book that's going to help you out. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It's for everyone. There's something in there. I don't care if you're an expert. There's something in this book for everybody to read and to apply. There's great stuff in here. Going over to Amazon.com, going over to Barnes & Noble's, grab you a copy.
Okay, so check this out. Mm-hmm. Where is ABC School of Soccer headed? We once talked about your development academy, mm-hmm. which to me I think is still a reality, something that can happen. Mm-hmm. But where are you now? And where do you want it to go in the next 5 years? Mm-hmm. Or next 3 years. Let's say next 3, then 5.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, in the next 3 years, I would love to see that we have a facility. Mm-hmm. You know, because that's what we were aiming for. I mean, we were aiming for that goal before. Mm-hmm. To actually have a facility where COVID hit.
What do you think is stopping you from getting a facility?
Right now, finances is a part of it. I mean, you can always get the finance anywhere or whatever, but also we want to make sure exactly we find the right place in the right spot to do it. You see what I'm saying? And so when you're talking about the right spot, I was looking. I don't want to put me personally. You know, it's like, well, both of us we're talking about. We want to find. I mean, we want to find a place where it's like it's central for anybody to come in. So if some people coming from like Irvine, or some people that's coming from LA or whatever, and they're coming from like Corona, and people that's coming from like where that goes from the desert, Palm Spring. You know what I'm saying?
Just from other areas. You want to try to find a central location.
It's central location, so everybody can actually come in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be like in San Bernardino and people come in, which we could find a spot in San Bernardino. But so the place that we were looking at, where it was like around Rancho, Cucamonga, or like that's why we were looking at the spot. And we did find a spot, we did find a place, but the only one thing, because that's when COVID hits, and that's when all those things, you know, and then the dream kind of went over.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that people are going to come to that place because of the location, or are they going to come to it because of you, the trainer?
They're going to come for us because of drain, because of the location, but location also matters to me. To me, it matters because it all depends. Because people want to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? When they come. Mm-hmm.
Well, granted, I mean, I'm not saying like, be in the hood. But at the same time, though, the reality is if you put a challenge on the table, and the challenge is get the doors open, right? Location becomes less of a focus, right? Not to say it's not a focus, because you're right. Safety is important. Being in a central location, the closer you are to the freeway, it matters. And if your clients are in Los Angeles and your building is in Palm Springs, then the chances of them driving 2+ hours to come to you or whatever. But no, what I was trying to say was there's no time like now. You know what I mean? And sometimes, to put it in in proper context, I think location, it is important. It's important to an extent, because what you're really looking for is you're looking for something that's warehouse style, that has open space, and then actually has an area where you can seat the people who are waiting, and then maybe have some office space. But you're also looking for where you can get the lowest price for the amount of square footage that you need. So you've got to do some negotiations. And at the same time, though, if you start to look at different properties and you negotiate with those owners or property managers or whoever, you look at how long that thing has been on the market. Because at the end of the day, they need somebody else to pick up that payment. And so if you can find a place, even if, let's say you have Old Town Ontario, You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
you might have some stuff over there.
Mhm.
There was a building over there. It was like they were selling a warehouse at one point. It was like 10,000. My wife and I were looking really, really hard at it.
Mhm.
But I was like, why is this warehouse being sold for $10,000?
Mhm.
And I found out why. They built this sucker basically on a train track.
Mm.
Yeah. So then as we looked farther, it was like, okay, this is a terrible, terrible, terrible deal
Mhm.
here. And so we didn't go through with it.
Mhm.
It was not something that would ultimately turn out to be a good investment.
Mhm.
However, at the same time, though, if you're going to lease something, if you know the amount of square footage that you need,
Mhm.
going out and having some conversations, it helps. It's like doing recon.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You do recon. You look at that area, see that area. So when I opened my gym over in that where I had it,
Mhm.
I went there during the day.
Mhm.
I went there during the evening. I went there at night.
Mhm.
I went there on multiple days. I went there on the weekends, Friday, and I would just park,
Mhm.
just sit there, eat, watch the
Mhm.
traffic, see who's coming in, see who's driving in the back. 'Cause, you
Mhm.
know, most warehouses, especially if it has
Mhm.
multiple access points,
Mhm.
and then you have parking in the back, people can ride around and they
Mhm.
just drive through, dump their trash. I looked at all of that stuff. I wanted to see who was going back there smoking, getting high,
Mhm.
or the people in the factory on the other side where they taking their lunch breaks and they going over there and then
Mhm.
parking their car.
Mhm.
What kind of cars were they driving? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Were there cars that were just torn down, run down, or were they taking care of their car? You might be like, oh, okay, that doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter
Mhm.
because you also want to see who's inside that car.
Mhm.
And what is that person doing? You know, are they in there getting high or whatever? Because if you have a lot of female clients.
Mhm.
And
Well,
so-
And also,
Right.
for me, the way I look at it also is if I'm going to, that's mindset. Even Lou think like that too. But it's just like, for me, if I'm going to give this, top training, for me, it's like, it has to represent, where I'm looking.
but you got to have a starting point. Because the foundation of what you do is amazing.
Mhm.
So I agree with you on that.
Mhm.
100% premium quality.
Mhm.
Nobody can doubt. Nobody can dispute that.
Mhm.
Right. At the same time, though, you got to get a building.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you stay there.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that you stay there. It takes you indoors. So when
Mhm.
it's raining, you're not canceling.
Mhm.
You're not
Mhm.
calling and saying, hey, we can't train.
Mhm.
No, rain, sleet, hail. It can be a rock
Heat,
storm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Pebbles are coming down. We're training.
Mhm.
Why? Because we're indoor. The other thing, guess what? Now we got strength and conditioning up in here.
Mhm.
Now we're going to be working on explosion.
Mhm.
Right? Oh, guess what? Now we got recovery up in here too.
Mhm.
It may not be super huge, but you've got,
You got
all the
it.
stuff that you need, and it's in that environment.
Mhm.
For you, you might think that your clients are like, nah, you got to bring us Beverly Hills. Nah, you don't have to bring them Beverly Hills.
Mhm.
You got to listen. That is a huge advantage for your business if you are able to take them indoors.
Mhm.
And there are places where you might look at it as, nah, that can't be. My buddy and I, we went to, we were looking at franchising. And so we were looking at people who already had gym environments that were established, well known.
Mm.
But we would just we would come together and we would buy that. And then we would just basically replicate it. Either add a little bit to it, tweak some stuff, whatever, to make it a little bit more or less commercial so that it's easy to franchise it, to make it easy for people to get in,
Mhm.
but we can do multiple.
Mhm.
Some of the places that we looked at, they weren't in these places, like environments where it was like amazing. You got all the retail traffic because everybody wants the retail traffic,
Mhm.
right? But nobody wants that triple net.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Lease.
Mhm.
You don't want that triple net lease.
Mhm.
People want pay cams.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That triple net, you're going to be giving up a percentage.
Right.
So you don't want to do that.
Mhm.
So what happens is we go inside these places. We're looking at them. There was one that we went to right here in Riverside, where Main Street is.
Mhm.
And when we went inside, the guy was selling his gym for $40,000.
Mhm.
We went in. The gym itself was, I want to say it was like 17,000 square feet.
Mhm.
He had batting cages in there. He had like the golfing stuff set up, and he had like an area for soccer skills training.
Oh, wow.
It was dope, right? He had 2 offices. He had male and female restrooms and locker room in 17,000 square feet. He had it set up really nice. He had a lobby area, monitors everywhere, and things like that. At the same time, though, for us looking at it, we're like, it's not worth $40,000. You know what I mean? It's not worth $40,000. One of the reasons is, okay, are you selling the memberships with it?
Right. No.
Right? Because remember, if we're buying it that way, we're not going in training. We're bringing trainers in. But when we bring trainers in, we wanted to already have the members. He wasn't selling the memberships with it.
When you said 40,000, is it $40,000 a month or $40,000?
No, 40,000. So 40,000, we take over the lease of the building.
Oh, okay.
Right? We take over the lease of the building. But there's no debt. So he's already got everything covered and caught up. And at the same time, he's got a lease. That lease was like, I think he had like 2 or 3 more years on the lease. When we were looking at the cost of the lease against the square footage and kind of doing the math. And so that didn't really make sense to us with what he was paying. And then that location, because we looked at the other buildings around in that complex, they were paying a lot less than what he was paying. Even some that were equivalent in square footage. So that didn't make sense to us. We were trying to figure out, okay, how did you lock yourself into this crazy deal? That's why he's selling it. Right. He didn't say that, but for us, when we hopped in the car, we're like, nah, he screwed himself on that on that lease. That's why he's trying to get out. But we would take over all the equipment. So the equipment, we own all the equipment. So that's everything that's there and everything that's, he had 2 containers full of equipment. We would own all that stuff too. You see what I'm saying? So when we looked at that based off the wear and tear and we started to do the math on depreciation, I mean, that's not really a big value. They're not really getting much in terms of value for that stuff because a lot of it's going to have to be replaced anyway. But that's what the direction that we were going in. It wasn't in the best place. However, could we have bought it and turned it around? Yeah. We could have bought it. We could have cut him a check.
We thought about that. It's like find something. It's like to build from because it's always never gonna be. But it's just that
it can be though.
It can be. Yeah. But it's just that now finding the right. The right place, the right height, because we're playing soccer. We're not lifting weights. We're not,
right. You need a high ceiling.
So, you need a high ceiling. Because we did find a place, remember? But the ceiling wasn't high enough. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we could have done it and everything like that, but imagine some of our players, if they actually take the ball in to receive the ball and just to actually hit it back to us, the ball is going to hit the ceiling.
Right.
So we had to find a place that's specific, So that's why it's been a little hard for us. Not hard, but the prices that we would like to have, it's gonna be way we can handle.
How much time do you spend doing like going out and looking at locations? Like realistically, how much time do you go walk with whoever is handling that lease, that property manager or that owner, going inside, taking a look at it, knowing what you want, knowing what you don't want, measuring the ceilings. How much time are you spending doing that?
We not much. Not much time. Not much time because right now, because of other things that we have encountered. For me, I'm trying to build a new club. I'm putting a new club together.
Soccer club.
Yeah. The Sentinels FC, Yeah, so I'm trying to put that together and everything. So, and Lou has he has his work, and plus he has the ABC, and plus he have another program that
academy.
The academy that he's working.
Yeah, working for, or you building your own?
No, just helping them run it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like helping the coach have the right training system.
Yeah. And stuff like that. So therefore, it's that for us to go outside, I'm going to look for a facility. If I told you the truth, I have not have the chance to do that right now.
But the dream is alive. I think we're 35 years, something that we definitely have to do. We're not getting any younger. That's one. Second of all, it just makes sense to pass the torch on to some of our great athletes that's playing D1, that's playing D2, or we've encountered some great coaches, some great young players that have the drive to teach also. So we want to give them the system so they can carry on. And also those that are playing now, they can always come back and teach the young players a place where the family grows still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always believed in both of you. I've always believed in both of you.
But it's true, yeah.
Yeah, and I know that you have something special. You have something.
Thank you.
Something very special. I caution you not to sell yourself short because you're waiting on the location. I get it, totally get it. Been there, so I understand. And giving your skills, talent, intellectual property to help other people grow their stuff. You know what I mean? Because what you have is you know how the soil right now, the food that we eat, the soil is not as rich as it once was.
Right.
You have rich soil. Right? You have rich soil. So if you just put your fingers on it, you ever seen that movie Meteor Man?
No.
Right? It was produced and directed, I think, by Robert Townsend. You got to watch it. It's Meteor Man. But there's a part in there where Bill Cosby, he gets this meteor. It gets inside of him, and he gets these powers. And no, it's not when he gets the powers. Yes, but Robert Townsend is Meteor Man. Robert Townsend has a garden. There's a garden in the hood between these uprises or whatever. I forget what those brick buildings what they call them. But there's a little garden. It's like trashy and everything. He cleans it up, but there's no growth. The soil's not rich. So with his powers, he takes his hands, he puts his fingers inside the power. In the morning, all these flowers and vegetables and everything, fruit, everything has grown. It's like beautiful and amazing. The richness in the soil is what you guys have.
Amen. Yep.
It's there, dude. It's amazing. I've seen it for years. So I'm a testament to what you guys, my daughter is a testament.
Appreciate that. Hi. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? My daughter is a testament. If you do nothing else, like if you talk about leaving a legacy and you're talking about passing it down, the best thing you can do, especially now, because y'all still got the energy. The best thing you can do right now with the energy that you have is build these bricks, lay these bricks, right? Because you've been doing the philosophy, you've been doing the mental, you've been doing the coaching, you've been doing the training, but you got to lay the bricks, the physical structure around all of that stuff. You got to build it, dude. You got to, because don't nobody have what you have. Nobody out here has what you have. And since I've been doing this, I've been traveling a lot. And I've been meeting with people. And I've been talking to people. And I've been seeing them and I've been recording them and everything. I still haven't seen it.
Wow. That's amazing.
I done been man.
That's amazing.
If you know everywhere if I pull out all the freaking flight records of everywhere that I've been places, a lot of places, and I've seen a lot. And I'll even go this far. We know people, some of the same people who do some of the same stuff, and they don't even have it.
Wow.
And they're at the top of their game.
So what is it then?
So you cheating yourself.
What is it then that you think we have? What is it that you see? Besides the rich in the soil.
I think you have a unique ability to bring out of people the things that they can't seem to bring out themselves in their talent and ability with what you do. That's soccer. Right? But you don't do it the way everybody else does it. And I know that because my kids will be like, hey, we're going to Pat and Lou. We're going to Pat and Lou. We're going to Pat and Lou. My son doesn't even play soccer. Dad, can I go train with Pat and Lou? You don't even play soccer anymore. Why? Why? Dad, I just want to go play. I just want to go. My oldest. Dad, can I have Pat and Lou's number? For what? You don't even play soccer anymore. Neither one of my boys play soccer anymore. But they still want to train with you.
They still want to train. Yeah. That's powerful.
Yeah. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Yeah, it's powerful.
Neither of them. But they both want to train. Turn this one this way.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what, Ty, and Patrick and I talk sometimes, and the one thing we can go back in doing it is this. Before we start, we pray first.
Yes.
We pray. And then number 2, we're telling some of the players the same thing. And the experience together, the amount of years put together.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's deeper than that, though.
It is deeper.
When you asked me, you said, "What is it that we have?" In my head, I was like, "Y'all got blessings," but that wasn't the word, so I didn't say it. But I know what the word is. Y'all got favor. Y'all got favor, right?
It's deep.
You got favor.
It's deep.
Them old women, when I was young, all the time. That boy, you got favor. Boy, the hand is on you. You got favor. And I didn't know what they were talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got favor. But I'm going to tell you something. I believe on my last podcast that I did, one of the things I talked about was words.
Mm-hmm.
There was this older lady from, that sounds so bad. She was a more mature and senior lady. Beautiful lady too.
Mm-hmm.
One of my buddies is his wife, right? And they're much older than me. Mm-hmm. But she told me before I got married, she said, "Have you prayed for your wife?" I'm like, "Pray for my wife? I'm out in the streets. What are you talking about?" Right? She was like, "Boy, you better go on. You got to pray for your wife." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, you got to speak it into existence, right?" Mm-hmm. And he would say, you have to, what did he say? You have to confess your profession. So you have to speak it into existence. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so for her point was, as far as like with my wife, you need to say it. What does she look like? What is her personality? Mm-hmm. Right? Who do you want her to be? How do you want her to be with you? What kind of woman do you want her to be? Have you spoken? Have you brought it spoken into existence? Mm-hmm. And I was like, this lady is crazy. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. But I did it. And guess what? Every night I had been from 11 o'clock to like 3 a.m. parked outside in the car with the woman that I'm married to now, never knowing that was the one that I spoke into existence. Mm-hmm. I did exactly what she said. Wow. And I described her to a T. Mm-hmm. I described her to a T.
Powerful, huh?
Not even knowing that. One day we're sitting out there talking, right? And we'll just be out talking the whole time. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. Right. But I'm just sitting there. We built a relationship. We're just talking and talking and talking and stuff. And we're just friends and stuff. And I mean, with interest, of course.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
And I started laughing because in that moment, I realized, dang, I looked at her. I was like, dang, everything I said, I described her.
Right.
Before I even met her.
Yeah. That is powerful. Mm-hmm. That's powerful.
Before I even met her, this all happened.
That's favor. No, that's powerful.
Over 22 years, you saw about lighting the fire earlier. Oh, the fire lit, bro. The fire stay lit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's powerful.
The right one.
That's powerful.
Because it's, you know what I mean?
Yep.
As I talk to my great divine, if I talk to my Lord,
right.
I want the right one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I got the right one.
Mm-hmm. And that's what life is about, man. Mm. Yeah, right? Reaching that self-actualization, live life to the fullest.
Absolutely.
In every aspect.
Absolutely.
Of it.
Every aspect. So put that in the context of your business.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. So if you say that you wait, but you got this favor, what are you saying? Hmm. But you got the favor. Why? The proof is in the pudding. Right. Count the numbers. This girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. All of them next level, next level, next level. Mm-hmm. D1 universities. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This one plays here. This one plays there. Nah, but I gotta wait. On who? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. On who? I'm not a preacher, but don't sound to me like God been waiting on you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, God moves.
Mm-hmm. Moving.
God moves.
So then it's what's holding you back? Because if you wait, I found this happened to me. It happened to me when I was younger. And this is why, like, people be like, Ty, you always into stuff. You always, because I had an idea. It's happened to me twice. I had this idea. I drew it out on paper. Everything. It just came to me. I didn't do nothing with it. Next thing you know, on QVC, somebody has put that stuff out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how did they get my... Nah.
Yeah. Because
He
when
gave it to me.
you give it to give it to
Oh,
other
you don't want to do
too.
nothing with it? Okay, cool. I'm going to give it over here.
Yeah.
And somebody ran with it. Made millions. So I sat there and I watched it.
Right.
$44 million later, I stopped watching.
Yeah.
Because I'm frustrated now.
Right.
That was supposed to be me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I had another idea. I drew it out. Everything. My wife was pregnant. I drew it out, to help her. She carried the baby, this or the other, back hurt and stuff. Okay, let me draw this thing out. A brace, whatever. Okay, cool. I'm going to get this manufactured. I showed her. She's like, oh man, that would really help. Show some other people, other ladies. They were like, wow, that would help. Yeah, that would help me big time, right? I'm like, cool. I let stuff get in the way.
Right.
I got distracted by other stuff.
Right.
I look up. It's on TV, bro. I'm seeing commercials of my product
Again.
Oh, I don't wait no more. Don't wait. I'm moving.
Yeah.
Like a project, it may take me a little bit longer on a project because of whatever circumstances, but I'm moving on that project. I'm not sitting there I'm not letting this idea leave me and be given to somebody else who's going to move because I decided not to. Y'all got it. Y'all got to do something with it.
Yep.
Right. There should be, if you're going to, listen, some people might believe they were put here to work. I don't think everybody was put here to work. I think some people were put here to lead. For me, I know I've been put here to lead and I've been, but I lead in different ways. For some people, I lead through a system of support. For some people, I lead by getting behind them to push them, to inspire them, to uplift them, to, to exhort them, encourage them. Some people I lead, I got to be up in the front and I got to set the example. You know what I mean? Some people I got to lead by locking up arm to arm and we go fight together side by side. It's different ways on how we do it. I think you guys have something great. And that was, my biggest kind of thing with that rant. And, now more than ever is the time. I know a guy who, I would do camps, football camps, and he worked with me in my football camp. We've known each other since we were kids. And he had to go through some stuff to get him to a point where he went to open up his gym, and he opened it up. If you see the place where he opened it up, and he trained everybody, softball, soccer, you name it, everybody, right? The inside was like a field. He had stuff like a field. He had a little weight area and stuff. And they did it. They made it work. And it was kind of that field of dreams type of thing. Like you build it and they will come. Now, dude is like big time. But his gym now, compared to the first gym, the gym that he's in now is 4 or 5 times the size of the first one. But it took him opening that first one to get to that.
To actually get something.
Right. When he built that small one, he still was on the field. He would still go out on the field with his athletes and work out on the field. And then he would have them on the inside too. So he combined them both. And then it just grew and grew. Now he's bursting through the seams where, okay, he don't have room for all these people. Look at the numbers. Because he's taking in all these people each month, the business is bringing in enough where it makes sense to now upgrade to a bigger building. Right. Okay, now you look more appealing too to investors and to the bank because now you can show these years of activity in the bank on your accounts and stuff like that, right? And then, regardless of what people say, they're going to always look at your personal credit for your business credit. They just do that, right? That's a given. You get that stuff taken care of. But if you have a relationship already because you have this building and you've been doing great with that one, and a lot of times those property managers and those owners, they have other commercial buildings too. And so they may have one available that's the size that you need. Because you've been such a great tenant for them, they'll go ahead and say, hey, we'll work with you on this.
Right.
If you do a deal, you do a lease for this amount of time, we can bring it down to this much, so you pay this amount per month. You know what I mean? So you can win that way. You know,
That's a good point.
you can. So I would say, just kind of look at it from that perspective. It's not about, in the beginning, it may not be the perfect place, right? It may not be the perfect place. You know, you might have to date this little smaller building for a little bit. Date that smaller building for a year, maybe even 2, depending upon, you know, what you negotiate. And then decide, hey, we want to go bigger. Well, how bigger? We want to add a couple more 1,000 feet. We want to add 5-10 more thousand. You know what I mean? Feet on there.
So you mean in other words, what you're trying to say, like I can find anything for now, and then later on grow to something bigger.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say anything, because you know what I mean. You do have some standards that you have to meet because of what you do. However, like if you focus primarily on having this perfect location, you may not ever find that perfect location. But you might find the right location under the circumstance, right? You might find the location. The name of the game is get the doors open.
Right.
Get the doors open. Because when everybody else is shutting down, you're not. We need a place to train. It's the rainy season.
Right.
We're right here. We've been waiting on you this whole time.
Right.
Come on in. The doors are open.
Right.
Yeah.
Got some coffee and some hot cocoa for you.
Right.
Parents, the coffee's over there. Kids, the hot cocoa's over there. The rest of you athletes, it's time to train. Are we training tomorrow? Oh, absolutely. Doors are open. We don't, but at this time, we'll be here in the morning. Patrick will be here in the morning. I'll be here in the afternoon. Patrick will be here a little bit later. Boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Brian's like, oh man, I need to train. I'm out here. I can't. We got the door. We got a roof. We got a high roof too.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not gonna have a dome. You're not gonna find a dome.
No.
You're in California. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find a dome, but you can find a high enough ceiling where you could actually get some work done.
Yeah.
Build it up. Trust me, man. I'm telling you, when you build it, you're gonna have more athletes.
Yeah. I agree.
Right? You're gonna have. I read an ad one time. I had like people coming that I was like, where are these people coming from? Right? This is not my clientele, but all right, they're willing to pay me to train them. I'll come in. That was like when I first opened. You know what I mean? That was the very first ad that I ran. I didn't pay for it or anything. It was a thing that I did. And the people who found it on. Now, when you do that, you got to be prepared to take all those people. It was the most interesting experience that I'd ever had, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But you all have a large enough base to where once people find out, oh, what? Patrick and Lou, they always say the boys. I don't know if y'all know that. They call you guys the boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're like, the boys got their own facility. Really? Yeah, it's over here. Boom.
Really?
Yeah, boom.
Didn't know that.
And I'll drop some game. I'll drop some game on you, all right?
Okay.
When I opened my gym, none of my equipment was brand new. I didn't buy a single piece of brand new equipment. What I did was I went on Craigslist. I went on all those little apps where, you know, you could find stuff. People were just selling stuff out of the garage or whatever. Businesses were closing down. I found the businesses that were closing down. I found the guys and gals who were buying equipment and then reselling it. But because I've been in the industry, I know how to negotiate their actual stuff because I know how that's supposed to be, and I know that you only bought it to resell it, and you don't know how it's supposed to be, and I know that that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. That has to be reupholstered. That right there has to be replaced. So the value that you've placed on it is actually way higher than what it's actually valued at, and you're not going to sell it for that. So here's what I'm willing to give you. So I negotiated hard on everything. Literally, I went into Walmart, bro. My 55-inch TVs that I put up in there, I paid $200 for them back in the days where people were paying a whole lot more for them. I pissed the people in Walmart off, but it was like I knew what to do when I went inside of there. So don't go in looking to buy all the brand new stuff. Granted, for your balls and stuff, you got to have it, but don't go in looking to have all this. My turf, right, per square foot, I should have been paying about $7 and some change. Some crazy number, right? Because I had real thick stuff. Nah, bro, I paid like 50 cents per square foot. It's 50 cents per square foot. I did my research. I found a guy way up in the desert. He had rows and rows of material because he worked for the company and the company would just get rid of him. And I ended up connecting with his dad through searching online, you know what I mean, through Craigslist. Drove up there, negotiated. He got his son on the phone. And when he called his son wanted like $250. I was like, I'm not paying $250 for this. You can't even move it. But I ended up getting it, you know what I mean, for 50 cents per square foot. So cool. Hey, you want to sell it? You want to move it? I want to get it out of there. His dad wants it out of the garage right now. And he's like, you got a guy right here with a trailer right now. So, hey, I got cash. Made the deal, rolled it out. We put all the rolls on the back of there. It was heavy as heck. Cool. I got literally out of that garage, I got all my flooring.
Oh, wow.
All my flooring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't go in getting all kind of brand new stuff. I hit up some of my other partners who had businesses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? What do you call it? I think it was Sports Chalet or whatever was going out of business. So I needed to get my front desk, you know what I mean, for the lobby and stuff. I went over there. I negotiated with them to get a bunch of their stuff too. Their displays and everything. You know, whatever I had to do, I did that. I didn't go out and buy all kind of brand new stuff, but I was able to keep money. You hear a lot of people saying, I hear people online telling people crazy stuff online, you know what I mean, about starting businesses and this, that, or the other. And I'm like, that is not entrepreneurship. One of my buddies, he was $300,000 in debt because he followed, he jumped into a thing. He ended up becoming $300,000 in debt. I was like, bro, why? Don't do that. You know what I mean? You're setting yourself up for success. For failure, I mean, mind you, he's a boss when it comes to discipline.
Wow.
So he worked his way out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Highly successful. And then I came through with some other things like, hey, do this, keep the camera rolling, this, that, or the other. You know what I mean? So he's extremely successful.
Right.
And he's doing really great, like on social media and stuff like that too. But there's just different things that you can do to get you off the ground, to get the doors open, to keep money in your pocket so that you know what I mean? You have that war chest. That war chest still has something in there for a rainy day. You know what I mean? And you've got operating capital that you can work with because you didn't blow it coming out the gate.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but get the doors open, gents. I'm telling you. Yeah. You're cheating yourself and you're cheating people.
I want to go back to the thing that you said, like, God, we were made to work and stuff like that. Well, I always go back to the Bible, so that's why it's like I haven't been working for nobody since 2001. I haven't worked for nobody else. I've been working for myself. That's 99, 2000, right? Yeah, by the time. Yeah.
So basically, my dad wrote the book. The easiest fitness book you've never read. He trains people. He wants people to get exercise. He really likes to make people healthy and keep them strong and go on a diet sometimes. And that's really helpful if people need to go on a diet and need to eat their fruits and vegetables and get strong. Like it says right here, boost your fitness journey. So he's trying to motivate people. I think the most important thing that you should know about my dad's book is that if you're not healthy, things can happen. And you don't want to always go to doctors and get shots like 24/7. Take the challenge. Go for it and try. If you push too much, stop. Follow the program. What he means by that is each day you're getting stronger and healthier. And people who don't think they're healthy, they should get this book. This is why my dad wants you to have it, because it's a fitness book. So right here it says the easiest fitness book you've never read. Go on Amazon.com and look up Pinkney Fitness. It goes Pinkney, Pinkney Fitness. And it'll be right there. Buy my dad's book on Amazon.com. The easiest fitness book you've never read. Bye.
So, you guys charge what you charge for per session, right? And I told you this before. I think you should be charging more. I've told you that before, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, I know that. At the same time, we had this conversation. I told you should be charging more, a lot more, and I know people will pay it. But at the same time, I know that there are some people who it's like that they don't have the resources, and so it's like, okay, this price right here is a more reasonable price. You know what I mean? Under those circumstances. And so for you all, like you talked about having that location, you have premium quality service, premium quality location, but you're not charging premium quality prices.
Makes sense.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's really what's going on right now. So if you're going to do that, to have that location, you've got to increase that price. And the value of the service you provide, even right now, if you raise your price, you still won't raise your price to where it's supposed to be because you won't be comfortable with it. Even though your service says, nah, that ain't high enough. That's a mindset thing.
How much would you charge? You can edit that too. How much would you charge?
I'd be charging about $110, $120 a session for like 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Yep.
Not even an hour and a half?
No. If you went to Pacific Palisades with your services, and you said my service is $230 a session, I bet you get it. I'm gonna tell you how crazy it will be. They will be batting down the door. Pacific Palisades. They will be batting down the door because you would be cheap. $230 a session would be cheap.
Well. We're transitioning. Actually, we're transitioning to Orange County by next year or early next year. By the summer, transitioning. We went to see Sophie, but Sophie's mom was like, "Yeah, we got players here. Won't you guys come to Orange County? We got."
You got to charge Orange County prices,
right? And then she said, "Yeah, we can get you guys here." And we're like, "Okay." After the season, we're gonna transition. We want to transition. And I think also there's a parent who moved from Claremont to Orange County. He's a physician, and he says, "Well, you guys are the real deal, right?" Kind of everybody else kind of like, eh. But he says, "You guys are really cheap for what you do."
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
you're extremely cheap.
Yeah.
$60 is cheap.
Yeah, we'll do 65 per session, but still,
65 is cheap.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap. So,
we had this conversation. I told you that a long time ago.
Yeah, you did tell us a long time ago. Way before COVID.
Way before COVID.
But during COVID, it's funny. We trained during COVID. Let me tell you the favor. You're right. Favor. Man, like it was like
just like COVID was not even there.
Was not even there.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So we had a little talk. We were like, we gotta transition over to LA or where
gotta go where the money is.
Where there's that too. I think there's a little bit of lack of appreciation in the IE, and I think when we go up there, people appreciate. Oh, like you said, people appreciate like really, and then we know how much we're worth. That's about the same price. We'll say.
Look,
we'll do easily.
I am getting up out of here. Listen, let me tell you something. I would have moved along. My wife tells everybody all the time, Ty's ready to go. He's already been ready to go. I'm serious. I've already been ready to go.
Right.
Really. It got to a point where I was already throwing my stuff away. So I have this habit where when I get to where like I'm not comfortable, I'll throw everything away in the house. Everything. And start all over, buy all brand new everything. I've been that way since I was a kid. Right. Throw the bed away, throw the couch away, throw the TVs away, throw everything away. Right? I'll keep my phone. If I don't want that, I'll throw that away too. And I'll just start all over. And so I've just been throwing stuff away. She's like, you ready to go? Yeah, I'm ready to go. I've been ready to go. I've been telling her, I'm ready to go. 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 Right? I'm looking. I'm going out. I'm with agents. I'm viewing houses. I'm flying here. I'm going looking at property here. I'm flying here. I'm going looking at property there. Stuff like that. I'm ready to go. So look, we're going to wrap up.
Because one last thing, growth happens in phases.
Growth happens in phases. It does.
You know who says that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know who says that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Growth happens in phases.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why, that pastor was praying, you thank God for time, because if it wasn't for that,
Yeah.
well, you can stay in your situation for eternity.
Oh, yeah.
So growth happens in phases. So when the phases come, you transition again. Phases, yeah.
We got to wrap up.
Yes.
But before we wrap up, here's what I'd like for everybody to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell people say your name again, but tell them where they can find you.
Mm-hmm.
My name, ABC School of Soccer. You can find me on boom, 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 boom.
Name is Ludwig Edouard. A lot of people call me Coach Lou. You can find me on our Instagram at ABC School of Soccer. You can send us a message there.
My name is Patrick Edouard. I'm the former.
He's sleepy.
Get some wood.
Okay, name is Patrick Edouard. I'm the founder of ABC School of Soccer, and you can also find me in Instagram as well, which is ABC School of Soccer in Instagram.
And I'm Ty. TP Elevates. I'm out of here.